All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else? And in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about how to get a pretty damn good 700 gear score item for relatively cheap. Now, if you're like me and you're coming back to the game and you're a little light in the pockets in the gold department, you don't want to spend 150,000 plus gold on a very, very good 700 gear score item. You want to spend it for cheap. And so I got a 700 gear score spear for under 30,000 gold. And so, yes, it's still expensive. That's what's going to happen for endgame stuff, but it's substantially less expensive than getting all the same traits crafted or buying it from a trader. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about some of this syncretic gear. Now, a lot of people already know about the syncretic bow. Syncretic bow is a farmable, best in slot bow for a lot of bow builds. It comes with keenly jagged and enchanted already, and then you can put an arboreal attunement or whatever your third perk is, and you have the best in slot crafted bow that would go for 6 figures for 30,000 gold. A lot of people already know about this. I saw a video talking about the musket. Same thing, keenly jagged, arboreal attunement already attached to the musket. Already 2 very good traits. You just put your third perk on it, you're good to go. You can just farm this and have this, and it would already be solid. And so, yeah, but I want to talk to you guys about a few of the other weapons. So I got the spear. And so keenly jagged already on top of it, trenchant rend, heavy melee attacks, inflict rend for 7 seconds, reducing the target's armor by 16%. Now, this isn't the best third perk or anything, but for me, because I'm using coup de grace and that counts as a heavy attack, I'm already weaving heavy attacks. Reducing somebody's armor so I can do more damage isn't a bad third perk. I put arboreal attunement on it. For 30k gold, I got arboreal attunement and keenly jagged on a spear for 700 gear score for 30k. And so it's not a bad spear. And so I wanted to run through these. I'm not, guys, I don't run all these weapons. I don't know all this. I just want to run through the perks for you guys so you guys know what they are. They might be good enough for you. They might not be. But at least now you know, like, hey, instead of spending 100,000 gold, maybe I can get my weapon for 30,000 gold. So I got the Syncretic Lifestaff here with Desperate Prayer. When you're below 50% mana, your heals are 20% more effective. Accelerating Light's Embrace. Allies below full health hit with Light's Embrace gain haste, increasing their movement speed by 30% for 5 seconds. You have Syncretic Ice Gauntlet with Keenly Jagged and Vicious. Vicious isn't a great perk, but you can get Keenly Jagged on our Arboreal Attunement or whatever attunement you want on an Ice Gauntlet. Not bad. Syncretic Void Gauntlet, Mortal Power, which is not great, and Keenly Jagged. Once again, you can do an attunement plus Keenly Jagged. Fire Staff looks pretty good. Keenly Jagged and Enchanted plus an attunement if you wanted to add it. I already talked about the Spear. Rapier, not good. Desperate Empower, 12% damage when you're exhausted. Not a good third perk, but once again, you can get attunement plus Keenly Jagged. Not bad for a 700 Spear. Warhammer, Keenly Jagged and Rogue. Very, very good. And then whatever third perk you want. And then you have Syncretic Hatchet, Keenly Jagged and Rogue also. I think that's a pretty good weapon. The Blunderbuss, Desperate Empower, not good once again, but you can get Keenly and Jagged plus whatever perk. So once again, a pretty good 2 perk item for cheap. Syncretic Musket, we've already talked about. Syncretic Great Axe, Mortal Power, 15% empowered for 20 seconds on kill. You know, maybe it's a decent Great Axe for group play. But yeah, it's not best in slot, guys. It's not going to be best in slot for everything, but it's close. It will tide you over until you get your dream weapon. Syncretic Longsword, Keenly Jagged and Desperate Empower, once again, not very good. And then you got the Syncretic Greatsword, Keenly Jagged and Desperate Empower, once again, just a 2-trait one. It's Syncretic Flail, Keenly Jagged and Rogue. So the Flail isn't bad either. Now, some of the gear, I don't know how good the gear is. Grit Ward / Conditioning, I think that's all they are. So yeah, so the gear, the armor stuff isn't great. But yeah, overall, like a lot of the weapons are pretty good. You'll have to figure out if these weapons are good enough for you. It really depends on what kind of gold you have, where you're at in your overall build. But a lot of these, if you're starting out and you want something that's solid, that will hold you over until you get more gold, until you can play a little bit more. All these weapons are pretty easy to get, and I wanted to show you guys where that's at. So we now go to the game, and we are in Brimstone Sands. And so here's the main metropolis area, New Corsica. And over here at Heliopolis, just south, there's this little square box. So if you look here, there's this square box. There are 3 bosses here that you can kill. And you just go back and forth between killing these 3 bosses, and you can farm all of these weapons. So if you look at me, I have the bow, I have the great axe, the fire staff. I basically got everything after about an hour's worth of farming. You put on some luck gear, you come over here and you farm to your heart's content. I had a few people over here doing the exact same thing, and I'll show you where the bosses are. So if we look at the map once again, it's this square box. There's one boss here at this marker. There's one boss here at this marker, and there's one boss here at this marker. So it'll be up on this little bridge. It will be in between this archway, and then it will be over on this bridge as well. And so it looks like he's already fighting it, so we'll just come over here and help him kill this thing. And yeah, you come over here, you group up with people, you kill these bosses, you get the drop. Look, I got Syncretic gauntlets. I'm not going to pick them up because I don't think they're very good, but there you go. There's a drop. And then you come over here, and you're going to see these are just the normal bosses, or the normal ads. They're not going to drop anything worth having, but up top here, there's the little Puma or whatever. Luxender the Wise, it will also drop stuff. And so you come over here, Immemorial Boots. I don't know if that's any good. We'll look at them here in a minute. Get off me. Nature harnessing and thrust conditioning. Yeah, so not great. But regardless, you can pick up all these weapons, and then you come over here. So that's the second boss. And then you come over here, and then there's a third boss on the other side. And so you'll wait on cooldowns, and you'll just go back and forth between doing these things, and you'll get your weapons over here. So we'll kill the last boss here. I'll show you where it spawns up and everything, and then we will go into town and show you how to craft these things. Because basically you almost need a bachelor's degree in order to figure out how to do some of the things in this game when you're coming back to it. It's crazy the amount of things you have to know, I guess. So yeah, we kill this boss here. We get another drop. And look, Syncretic hatchet. So look at that. 3 boss farms. Obviously, it's kind of luck of the draw, but I got 2 Syncretic drops in 3 boss farms. And so yeah, when I did this, it took me about an hour. I got the weapons I wanted. I wanted the spear and I wanted the bow. But if I ever want to do hatchet, I would run this hatchet. This hatchet is solid. Rogue, keenly jagged, and then my attunement of choice. Like that's a pretty good hatchet. And so yeah, we do that. We spawn back, and we're gonna go over to the kiln, and then I'll show you what it takes next. And so come over here to the kiln, and what you're gonna need is, as long as it holds up, you're gonna need your gypsum orbs. You're gonna get these by doing your daily stuff, whether you do PvP, whether you do PvE. You gain gypsum by doing stuff in the game. And you come down here, and you're going to come down here to your weapons. And so what your weapons are going to require, we had to go quite a bit down because there's also all this PvE stuff you can make also. And maybe I'll do another video talking about that as well. But this is for the Syncretic stuff. So you see I have all these Syncretic weapons. So if we go to my Syncretic bow, eventually when I want to get this leveled, I will need a weapon matrix. Now I got a weapon matrix for 10,000 gold. I think they go for like 11 or 12,000 now. There's going to be a little bit of a pinch. They might go back down, but I got it for about 10,000 at this video. 250 dark matter. You get dark matter by getting gold gear and deconstructing it. So all that stuff you get by farming elephants or whatever in the new area, and you don't like it and you're deconstructing it, you're collecting dark matter. This actually comes by pretty quickly. The game's been out a week. I've collected over 700 dark matter. I've crafted 1 or 2 weapons, and so I've crafted 1 or 2 things, and so I'm getting it pretty quickly. And so this is an item you get just by deconstructing gear. Gypsum orbs, like I told you, you only need 1 per weapon, so it's not hard. That's just doing a couple 3v3s and then refining the gypsum you get into the gypsum orb. And then chromatic seals. So in order to get the chromatic seals, you need to come over here to your alliance guy. So if you guys have not done the alliance faction stuff, you need to level this up. And you need to get, so for me, I needed to level up to Marshal. So you do your daily quests, you level this all the way up to 6. And then when you go into your rewards, you go down to Marshal, and you could buy 1 of these per day. And so a chromatic seal is 20,000 faction tokens plus 5,000 gold. The faction tokens are cheap. You get these, like, you can get 20,000 in a day really, really easily. It's the 5,000 gold. So you need 3 of these to make one of these weapons. So that's 15,000 gold right there, plus the chromatic seal, or plus the the weapon matrix. You want the weapon matrix, and then your trade of choice. I don't know how expensive your trade is going to be, but I got mine for under 5,000 gold. I want to say it was like 1,000 or less. I think it might have honestly been less, but for under 30,000 gold for me, I got this spear. And so, yeah, Arboreal Attunement, Keenly Jagged, Trenchant Rend. They all work for my specific build. Obviously, if I wanted a better bit, like, I would want a better third trait than Trenchant Rend, but Trenchant Rend isn't bad for my specific setup. And instead of spending 100k plus, I got it for 30k. And so now I have a 700 gear score weapon to go with whatever artifact that's already going to be 700 weapon. So whether you run, the one-handed flail or the sword or whatever, the blunderbuss, whatever artifact you get, you can then stack it with a 700 potential gear score syncretic weapon for under 30k gold. And so, yeah, that's my opinion. I would check it out. I think this is worth looking at for your specific build. If you're a little low in gold like me, if you're not and you're rich, just craft your own friggin' gear, man. Like, don't worry about it. Get your best in slot. But for those of us, running on the Walmart best in slot, some of these weapons are pretty damn good. So yeah, there you go. If you guys have any questions or comments, please provide in the section below. I will do my best to answer it. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.